Welcome to the Bathroom Break, hosted by Party C, Silly B, and Goofy P. Tonight we're going to talk about the Westward Trails and the Donner Party. To you, Goofy P.
Hello, it's Goofy P. This is the maps of the trails west, which were the main paths people took on their journeys west. The names of the trails were the California Trail, the Gila River Trail, the Mormon Trail, the Old Spanish Trail, the Oregon Trail, and the Santa Fe Trail. Each trail had its pros and cons, but since there was no other way to make it to the west coast, you had no choice but to make the journey across one. All at Party with a PH give you the details on what people made the move west.
Hello, it's Party with a PH. Many people made the treacherous journey west. One group that went were the Mountain Men. Mountain Men were loners, hunters, and trappers that primarily hunted beaver in order to sell the furs and make hats that were in style at the time. One remarkable story is that of Jedediah Smith. Smith was leading an expedition to find a route through the Rocky Mountains. A grizzly bear attacked Smith, taking off a bit of his ear and shredding his face. Soon after the attack, Smith ended up continuing his exploration and found the route that they'd been searching for. Many pioneers used this trail to make their own journeys. Back to Silly B on the Mormons.
The Mormons were a part of the Mormon Church created by Joseph Smith. They lived in close communities and prospered, working hard and sharing their good. However, the Mormons believed in polygamy, which allowed one man to have multiple wives. The public saw this as immoral and shunned and shamed the Mormons. A group of anti-Mormons ended up killing Joseph Smith, and Brigham Young made the choice to move his people west, settling them in Utah. On their journey, they would set up camps and forts to make the journey easier for others. This is the first settlement by the Mormons. Let's send it back to Goofy P to talk about the land spectacular.
Land speculators were people who bought land in hopes that its value would go up so they could sell. This was an opportunity that many people could not pass up. Another reason people moved west in relative to making money were sailors and traders. Sales were incredible in New Mexico and many people could make it big easily. Here are more reasons why people moved west. Here's Party on life on the Oregon trails and the trails west.
The trail was one trail that was infamous for being deadly. If you were to take the trail, you needed determination and cooperation for something to not go wrong. You could get stuck, you could get lost, or you could get sick. One party that faced an immense amount of trial on the trail was the Donner Party.
Now for a brief dance intermission. They'll eat you up. Whenever we go off the trail, we start to eat our oxen's tails. Our little feet go pitter-patter, looking for dinner on a platter. Ain't your finger I had to eat. In for the night, I'll try to sleep. Thank you. The Donner Party was a group of American pioneers who were planning to migrate to California. They tried to take a shortcut through the mountains, but their wagon got broken and they got stuck for the winter. They ran out of food, and it resulted in them cannibalizing each other. Hence the song. This entire tragedy was documented and written down in the journals. Back to Party.
Life on the trails was no easy feat. Many people either starved or went thirsty, and it was very common to contract illnesses and disease. Attacks by bears and coyotes were also common since you were stuck in the wilderness. And since there were no modern cars or trains, people were forced to travel by wagon. And wagons could be really difficult. They were hard to navigate through steep hills and rivers or other rough terrain, and you could get crushed or run over. The wagon could also break and leave you stranded. I'll let Goofy P tell you about women's roles on the trails.
Women who were living on the trails during this time began stepping out of their traditional roles. A few tasks that women living on the trails began doing are making bullets and driving teams of oxen. They still took care of camps and the children, but they also did less traditional jobs. Here's Silly B on our final section of our show, how this works or relates to the manifest destiny. These are also more traditional things that women did.
Manifest destiny is a belief that the USA should stretch from the Pacific coast to the Atlantic coast. Trails west allowed people to move and make their way from one end to the other. Both handled migration and allowed migrants to make their journeys. Thank you for joining the Bathroom Break.